And it says we're live,
Yeah, lies.
as usual.
Yes. Okay.
All right,
Um,
start us off.
All right. If you want to keep the air conditioning on until we need the leaking to stop, until we need the heater, until we need, anyway, donate here. If you like coffee, and I'm pretty sure you do, King Harvest Coffee has a wonderful blend called Blanket Fort Blend, named after us. You should try it. And when you order it from them, be sure you tell them you got it here, or you heard about it here. So maybe they'll send us more.
I don't like the chat. It's mild and rather good to drink. And speaking of
chat
drink,
tends to be spicy and spiky.
yeah, we are not doing a booze
Hell no.
feature.
Hell
So-
no. Would be
Yeah.
about the end of the hour.
Apparently, people enjoyed what we did Thursday.
Yeah, it's a little bit. Kind of concerned because that was completely off the cuff.
Yeah.
We
It is everything. We don't do anything planned.
no, we don't
Listen
have
to that.
scripts. Script? What the hell's a script?
No, you just directed us to do that one.
Well, it's because for a year you guys have been like edging around that one. It's like it's time.
It was I wouldn't edge you on. It was a throwaway. I mentioned it once, and
Throwaways
La, la, la.
result in live streams and anthologies.
yeah, well,
Brisket fat side down, period.
Fat
End of
side
story.
up.
See, now we're gonna have the
Fat
great
side up.
brisket debate.
No.
So
that's side
It's
up.
not a debate.
God, how to smoke a brisket could be the next one. It'll be you guys because I don't cook. So
Oh,
Well, 89 years ago today,
79.
79, sorry.
79. Don't make us older than we are. So,
I was not there.
you sure about that?
Yes.
No, he was offshore directing.
79 years ago today, Operation Overlord started. And we lost 9,000 men plus
Yep.
in 7 days.
Every time I hear somebody on the continent say, "We really didn't need the states in that little war," fuck y'all.
Yeah.
Well,
One of my-
Normandy never forgets.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
never forget.
No, they don't.
So,
One of my Masonic Lodge brothers was a Army Captain Ranger that went up Point du Hoc.
wow.
And they're back to timing when Ian cusses.
Yeah.
2 minutes.
And
No, but that's, seriously, my Uncle Bobby, my great Uncle
Yeah.
Bobby, my grandma's brother, a couple days after they took the beachhead, drove his tank out into it, went off to a battle in a small town just south of Normandy,
Yeah.
lost his life. So,
but
Yep.
to the day he died, if we had a meeting around June the 6th, he would get up and he would list every man in his company that died that day, that
oh,
week.
God.
And he remembered all of them.
Well, you remember your brothers.
Yep.
You do. So,
My blog isn't down, folks. Just that if you go to advanced, you can get in there. It's just that the security certificate I paid for a week ago still hasn't been put on my blog.
the rants. So,
Yeah.
yeah, it's been annoying.
Yeah, the security certificate has expired. The only thing wrong with it is the security well, not the only thing wrong with it. The current issue is the security certificate
Thank you.
expired May 31st.
Are we sure this is just what it is? There could be something else in there.
Yeah. I paid $50 for a new security certificate, even though I was under the impression I wasn't going to have to, that I got that for life for the amount of money I paid to the sciences for.
Yeah. So in other news, I saw this very cool thing where the people from Normandy would go to the beach and gather up sand and
Yeah.
take it out to the graveyards and rub it into the names on the crosses.
That's also how they cleaned a lot of them.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. So it's
Yep.
like some people never forget.
Yep.
They understand what the sacrifice was. So
Yeah, Cedar says try to get security certificate through and installed, but the host is blocking it.
Yeah, well, Epic is having issues.
such
Epic
fun.
or epic.
Don't get me started.
Sort of like Norse names. You can say them when you're barfing. So
Krolf.
Ragnar. So, what?
Nothing.
Yeah, I can't see the chat from where I'm standing.
Yeah.
It's just so. I have a question and a concern.
Yes.
Since this is Tuesday, we do books on Tuesday.
We do books on Tuesday.
Oh.
Like this book right here. This one right here.
Yes,
This one's coming out
Pin
the
Up Noir.
Friday
the Friday of
of
LibertyCon.
LibertyCon.
Pin Up
So,
Noir will be out.
yes.
Yay!
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
really excited about this one.
That one's, oh my goodness, it's so good.
Yeah, I'm really excited about this one. My question is, and I asked it in North Texas Trailmakers, so I'll ask it here. Got a lot of responses. Do. Is there any interest in recipes from troublemakers?
Apparently so.
Well, we
Yes,
can start with Jim's Kitchen. His shrimp
exactly.
and grits are just like
Exactly.
yum.
Actually, I've got Leota going through your blog for your recipes, by the way. 'Cause he's got a soup that starts out with clam chowder. Then he adds shrimp and other stuff to it.
And plenty of garlic.
So Courtney had a suggestion.
Okay.
That we have one section that's just bachelor food. For those of us who are really amazing with Kraft mac and cheese.
Most of it's going to be bachelor chow.
And
I call it
ramen.
author chow.
Yeah.
Most of mine will. Hey, baby, we'll start out with open a can off, and make it better.
Go
Read-
to Costco
If,
and
okay, my concern is we're going to get a lot. We're going to get a lot of these, and we're not sure how to pay people,
That ain't chili, Kelly.
and I'm
Oh,
not
here we
sure.
okay,
I'm-
okay, the great chili debate will happen at some point.
But I like Jim. So the my question is, I don't know how to pay contributors. Rita's suggestion, Rita's spearheading this, going to spearhead this, by the way. Rita's suggestion is that we use it as donations to the Blanket Fort rather than paying people. I don't know that I'm happy about that, but it's an idea.
And AJ says making a fundraiser for the library would be another option.
Um,
Pay them in food.
Blanket fort.
Also, what Rita and I and Leota were batting around was we have a lot of trollmakers who aren't writers, and that's perfect. Some people just don't write. This is a chance. Everybody's got recipes, though. This is a chance for our North Texas troublemakers who don't write to get into a book and be able to sign autographs.
Yeah, that's true.
Donations.
Free book. Yeah. Whoever's in it will get a free book. Yes.
Baby,
What?
Jim suggests that we just give all contributors a free book.
I think that's a good idea.
Okay. If everybody's okay with that, understanding that we probably won't be able to pay you, we can probably send you a free book. And we're going to need a lot of recipes because there's a minimum page count to publish on Amazon. So I've got a lot of recipes that will be in there. Our Lady of Hate, Mrs. Correa, is going to send some. Jim's got plenty.
Yeah.
But all that being said, we need more because recipes don't take up a lot of space and we have a minimum page count. So if y'all are interested in getting a free cookbook, recipes from troublemakers, or we'll find some catchy punny title, but right now it's recipes from troublemakers. I will contribute without compensation since I steal most of mine.
That works, Padre.
Welcome to my world. And then we just take the proceeds and use it to keep the lights on at the Blanket Fort. If that's okay with everybody.
Trouble in the kitchen. I like that one.
Trouble in the kitchen. Okay. Cooking trouble.
Differs. Really? Bachelor food.
Oh, okay. John and Courtney said we need to have a section of bachelor chow. What I've taken called author chow, which is quick, is tasty, quick, and easy, and usually begins with open a can off.
Ooh,
We-
I like that one even better. Recipe for trouble.
Oh. Anyway, Rita is spearheading that one, so I'm gonna put that in her capable little hands. But that's if with the proviso that you understand that While Rancher Pest tries to pay our authors, I don't know that we'll be able to pay anybody on this. Free books? Yes, I'll be more than happy to give free books.
AJ, recipe may include visiting the zoo.
I have a couple like that.
Yeah.
The fire didn't amount to much. Recipes from authors. But, we got folks that don't write, but everybody's got recipes. So send us your recipes and we'll get your name in a book and make sure you get hounded for autographs.
Yeah.
12 cookbooks later, please stop sending recipes. I don't know that that'll happen. Okay. Again, recipes are short and we need a lot of them. So
Well, Kelly definitely has a roadkill deer story.
yeah, okay.
Roadkill will be a section of the book.
Rita says a roadkill will be a section of the book. And Kelly, I need instructions on how to ditch roll a deer from you, written in your inimitable fashion.
Yeah.
Folks, ditch rolling is a thing. It was actually one of my field training officer when I started Bug Scuffle County. I was actually taught how to ditch roll a deer.
Yeah.
Yes, love?
One of the things I think one of the arts of modern cuisine is taking things that already exist and modifying them, bending them to our will, as it were.
Yeah.
And I think that in that spirit, there absolutely will be a ramen jazz section where people share how they jazz up their ramen noodles, which is, I have my own favorite, which is the best one. But you'll be free to try the other ones that other people suggest. But mine is superb. I just say that in all modesty. that I do a killer ramen.
She does.
But anyway, and it's really simple. Anybody can do it. Anyone, if you can turn on a hob, you can make this stuff. But,
Yep.
Yeah.
But don't you think that a ramen section is
Yeah.
a great idea?
I do.
Because don't a lot of people jazz up their ramen noodles, not use I never even use the packet that comes
If
out.
people don't jazz up their ramen noodles, they haven't eaten ramen very long.
I don't eat ramen anymore for
Yeah.
that reason.
Well, maybe I should make a big dish of ramen for everybody to try my ramen.
There you go.
Ramen my way. Anyway.
Wallbanger says ramen jazz. I heard them open for Chuck Mangalone in the 80s.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Kermit says, I once shot a deer with an 89 S10.
Yeah.
A friend of mine who's a nurse down in Georgia, I think has a record, 22 deer.
Wow.
She's gotten with various vehicles over
Did
the
she
years.
ditch roll any of them?
Yeah, most of them.
For those of you not from the South or the West or Louisiana, ditch rolling is how you. It's also it's called other places the poacher skin.
Yeah.
It's how you quickly and efficiently get a deer that's been hit, quickly, efficiently, and mostly hiddenly break it down. Ditch rolling, you don't get all the meat.
Yeah.
Because it's in the ditch and you're rolling it back and clean everything off there really quick before anybody shows up.
Yeah.
And the fact that my sheriff's office taught me how to do that as part of introductory training says something about how much we were getting paid.
Spot the ace of spades, HQ reader.
What? She had those anti-deer whistles mounted on the bumper backwards.
Yeah. Oh, they do not work. They have never worked. They were.
I've got 2 on my pickup. I've never hit a deer yet.
Yeah, right. Whatever. Yeah. You
Anywho,
need a Crown Vic Interceptor to hunt elk.
no kidding, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's more than once I have rolled up on a vehicle wildlife intersection, done the ST8 or ST3, excuse me, ST3 at the time, done the ST3, sent the wrecker and the driver off.
Yeah.
And spent the next 15 minutes getting the back straps and the tenderloins off that deer.
Yeah. Kelly says I purposely ran down a deer in an ambulance because I was hungry. Nothing wrong with that.
Small town, southern and western public service agencies.
Yeah.
Know this feel. I tell people that my pay at the First Bogue County was $999 and change every month, and I had a $300 more rent. So, and I had to pay my own insurance. So yeah, I ditch rolled a lot of deer and speed goats, and even a Aoudad ram out of the canyon. And I will tell you that the backstraps and tenderloins on Aoudad are hard to get to, but worth it.
Poison glands for non-deer hunters. Yes. We will take those poison glands.
Okay, story. I grew up in Africa, as everybody knows, and I'm used to critters that you shoot having odd things. Came to the States, and my first ever dad figured I needed to make friends. So the son of one of the office secretaries was a big hunter, and we went into the Ruby Mountains in northern Nevada after a mule deer, and got the mule deer, and that was the most miserable hunt I've ever had. Got the mule deer, and then the old boy told me that he was cutting out the poison glands. I'm from Africa. It does not surprise me that something we shot might have poison glands. So like, okay, yeah, bastard.
At your night at work, would you have ditch rolled the boar?
Yeah, damn Skippy. $999 and change every month.
Yeah, I got a picture of the car and the driver.
Yeah, 900, literally less than $1,000 a month take home pay. So yeah, I would have ditch rolled.
Beat the hell out of what I was making out of the Navy in 1970.
This was 1993 through 96.
$52 a paycheck.
Yeah. When I
$104
when I
a
went
month.
in the Army, it was $118
Yeah.
a month. Actually, my first ever really good knife I saved up for 6 months was a Benchmade Nimmervus. And I'm here to tell you, if you make a habit of ditch rolling deer, a Benchmade Nimmervus is a fantastic ditch rolling knife.
Yeah, John and Tom. Yeah, the Navy fed us for versions of feeding. I'll just leave it at that. Second lieutenant pay was $777 before taxes. Yep. Yeah. Differs. Shut up. Air Force chow. Air Force charged everybody for chow. And they would charge the Navy full rate. Not the per diem rate, but the full rate for food.
Oh, Kelly's ditch rolling deer, Sawzall is an integral part of a ditch rolling kit. No kidding. If you
Yeah.
get a cheap battery powered Sawzall from Harbor Freight and you regularly ditch roll deer, go ahead and buy it. Just trust me, buy it. You have no, I didn't. If I'd have known, I'd have been carrying one of those things a long time ago. That is hell on wheels for breaking down a deer in the dark on the quiet.
I went and bought one just for that purpose. It does go in the SUV when we go on road trips.
Yep.
Yeah, Padre, that's definitely true. Air Force Share Hall at Monterey, not the Army one. And for God's sakes, not the Navy one. Look. Although they supposedly have gotten much better.
Well, somebody told me the Army was contracting out to a civilian unit or civilian outfit. Aramark is what I heard.
Yeah,
For
Air
chow. Oh, for God's sake.
Yeah.
Aramark, at the last sheriff's office Jim and I worked at, Aramark was the ones that were the contractors that fed the inmates.
versions of Fed. Yes, sir, Brass. That is an excellent book. Operation Vengeance by Dan Hampton about the P-38 mission to kill Yamamoto. Excellent book.
Last I heard, Jim's first pay was in salt.
Watch it. Was not paid in dinar.
Got a salt ration.
I would have loved to have gotten dinar because I would have sold that and made some money off of it.
Oh Lord. So anyway, Tuesday book day. So if y'all are interested in a cookbook, understanding that all we can do is send you a free book, we will Rita will spearhead it, and we'll make it happen.
Yeah. Yeah, Yamamoto, Death by SIGINT with a contribution from Charles Lindbergh.
No kidding. So, all right. Oh yeah. Pinup Noir will be released at LibertyCon. Also, if you're going to LibertyCon, a whole bunch of our Raconteur Press authors will be there. So I think we need to have an author scavenger hunt. You need to find as many Raconteur Press authors as you can and get them to autograph something, not a body part. Make that clear. So
Larry does that.
What?
Larry does that.
Yeah, but no. So we need to have a Raconteur Press author scavenger hunt at LibertyCon. Find as many Raconteur Press authors as you can and get them to autograph something, a book, or a book plate. I will have a box of book plates. If you don't have a book, if you want to get authors, if you want to participate in scavenger hunt and you don't have a book on you, book handy, because you buy electronic copies or you didn't have the space, I will have a box in the workroom where Jonna will be, and I'll be carrying some.
I want to talk to Courtney about that because she's kind of ahead of you on this one.
Bloody hell. Okay.
There will be something about chasing down authors from Raconteur Press.
Disregard.
And you will find it in the craft room with me.
Disregard. Apparently, the lovely minions are ahead of me on this one, as usual. As usual.
Author bingo, yeah. Mikado is shooting for 20th of June release of his brother's book, which is great. Hopefully, I will be releasing the next RimWorld around that same time. Probably will not have books at LibertyCon because of the typical issues with trying to get friggin' printed copies, but
Who wrote the minions? Well, that is a question for the ages. This cover on Pinup Noir is fantastic, guys. When you get it, it's obviously a lovely redhead, but after you look at it for a while, stuff in the background starts popping up, and it's really there's a lot of background detail that's just Cedar outdid herself on this one. Let's see. Oh, creak. Oh.
And away he goes again. And he's going to look at the calendar, which is probably out of date already.
What are you looking for?
I'm looking for upcoming releases.
I just told you the most important one. Plus, we're doing postcards, another postcards at LibertyCon.
We'll be doing a postcards at LibertyCon.
Yes. Also, we did have a question: is there going to be a second Pinup Noir? Of course, there is.
Yes.
Because damn, you guys sent us some amazing stories.
Send us more stories. We will be running a second one.
And probably a third.
Yeah, and with possibility of a third Pinup Noir.
The other important thing, though, is Maggie's in Space closes June 30th.
Yes, that's why
we've got a little spot here where we can rest a little bit because your staff is exhausted.
Yeah, no
so
kidding.
Those are the important things. But
that's
Jim needs to remind people about the library anthology.
That one closes 31st of August.
Okay. You have a write-up on that somewhere, don't you? Because I need to stick it in North Texas.
Yeah.
So
It's on the blog.
It's on your blog, yeah. So I'll grab it off of Jim's blog and stick it onto North Texas. So, or you could do that too. So
yeah.
I've been getting questions about the postcards.
Yeah.
This is probably the only year we're going to be doing it because y'all don't understand how exhausting.
Well, I will tell you that we had an idea that even you don't know about yet because we had it last night at about 11 o'clock. So in the broadcast stream tomorrow, we have a solution for the almosts and stuff.
Yes. Oh, yes.
So we're going to be talking about that tomorrow on our broadcast, which I'll tell about you when we're not online.
Okay.
And yeah, probably this year only because wow, these books are exhausting.
Yeah. These the ladies.
I doubt that anybody knows the nutritional facts for what they're making.
I don't care.
Just send the damn
No,
recipe.
no, we're not worrying about healthy or nutritional fat. No.
Wait,
No.
healthy recipes from us?
Yeah. For
Are you-
authors,
really?
no. They just authors need calories.
I mean, Cedars will probably be, but I
Yeah.
mean, the rest, no.
It's cedar.
No,
And-
but
and-
yeah.
And Bridget's probably will be.
Yeah. Well, I like Bridget starts with go to Costco. So,
Yes.
Yeah, but no, we have an announcement about postcards tomorrow, but I'll tell you about it when we're not
All right.
here because you got here late today and I couldn't tell you. So
But anyway, yeah.
Format will be Times New Roman. Put your name in the damn thing.
okay, so gang, give me like 10 minutes. I'm gonna do a write up. I'll put it in our Texas Troublemakers. I'll put it on your blog, but in a couple of other places, and I'm sure Sam Robb will pick it up. And
put it
it'll
on
go
my
to
blog.
ragpresssubmissions@gmail.com, which I've already put in the chat. I've already built the files in the drive. I mean, it's like
So this is probably the only year. This is the only year we'll be doing the postcards from cons because it's exhausting. It really is a lot of fun. It's kind of winding down. So probably the only year we'll do a postcards. So Rita's Moggies in Space, her first ever collection she's doing for Raconteur, is closing the end of this month.
David, all the recipes together. One document.
Just send us recipes.
And Kelly gets his goat on. Open can, pour out contents, eat the can. That boy ain't right.
Well, we've known that for a while.
Yeah.
And again, it's like Rita and I were discussing. Not everybody can write, and that's perfectly okay. We have a lot of troublemakers on here that don't write, and that's
Yeah.
perfectly okay. But everybody has a recipe,
Yeah.
even if it was passed down from your grandma. Everybody has a recipe, and if you'd like to share that,
I have one of those.
if you have more than one, I've seen the recipe book. If you'd like to share those and get your name in a book, send them to us.
Yes, Kermit, there is going to be a LibertyCon postcard.
Oh yes, there will be a
Where
Liberty.
were you 5 minutes ago when we talked about that?
There will be a LibertyCon postcard. There will be a Pecan. There'll be a LibertyCon. There'll be an Imaginarium because we'll be an Imaginarium. There'll be a Pecan postcards, and there might be a 20 to 50, but I'm not going to that. The girls are, so people are busy. So I don't know that there will be one for the 20 to 50K convention, but there will definitely be for LibertyCon, for Imaginarium, and for Pecan. That's three more to do. And remembering, you don't have to be at the cons.
Yeah.
The everything opens the Friday of the con, and just contact one of the three moms. They'll send you I don't care if it's $10 too. They'll send you an image, write on the image, and email it back to them.
Postcards for in National Rifle Association annual meeting. Well, that's already occurred, Tom, so we missed that one.
Jonna just it would not be for 20 to 50K. I didn't think it would be. It's everybody's too busy actually working at 20 to 50. Like I said, LibertyCon, Imaginarium, and Pecan. So you got three more to go.
Yes, the P-38 was definitely the ancestor of the A-10. The P-38 was an interesting aircraft,
The aircraft, not the can opener.
although it was named after the P-38, because it would open a number of things
Well,
up
the
with 20 millimeter
A-10's a can opener too.
20 books to 50K is in
Las-
November
in
in
Las
Las
Vegas.
Vegas. Yeah, B-25 was set up for anti-shipping. Yeah, you can open a can with an A-10. Not sure what you would find left after you did that.
Mincemeat.
I don't even know you'd find that.
lightly toasted or heavily toasted mincemeat.
Yeah, because a 30 mil is damn near the size of most cans.
Yup.
Uh, yeah, the moms loose in Vegas would be interesting.
They're going there to learn about the business.
Yeah.
I can't afford to go, so I can't afford financially, and I can't afford to take off my day job.
The can opener makes a sound that scares the living crap out of enemies.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. But Lindbergh, and I've read some history on that, and I knew a guy that was a P-38 pilot that actually had his own P-38 that he bought back for $1,200. But he said Lindbergh was the one that basically taught the guys in the Pacific how to throttle back and adjust the mixture to get the extreme long range
For
that
the
they
lumber
did.
range.
Because before that, they'd been running basically high mixtures, and they weren't getting that much range out of them. And that was why they were looking at putting the P-51s out in the Pacific, because they were quote unquote escort airplanes. And after Lindbergh got through teaching the Marines and the Army out there, both on the F-4U and on the P-38, they started slapping drop tanks on them. And all of a sudden now they had a long range attack aircraft. And the P-38, the other thing with it was that all the guns were in the nose of the center cockpit. So you didn't have the dispersion angle, and you didn't have the convergence angle to deal with. So basically everything shot straight ahead. One of the interesting parts was they used a lot of 10-penny nails to adjust the guns. They would actually pound them in,
Shimming the guns.
shim the barrels to align them to fire straight ahead.
So the P-38 was 4 50s and 120 millimeter, right?
Yes,
That's
that
a,
was the original one.
that's a woof.
Yeah.
Wow.
And at one point, Sir Brash, you may remember, I think they were modifying them in the L models with 2 or 4 20 millimeters.
Get some.
Yeah. The problem with it was when you put the 20 millimeter in, you lost so much of the ammo storage because you didn't have that many rounds. That's always the misnomer. Everybody thought, oh, well, they get up there and they can fire forever.
No.
They only had a couple of seconds worth of ammunition. Yeah, Drang, that's a good point too. Last Dogfight by Caden, and Caden had done a lot of research too. They were G models, okay. So they were the pre L and K models. There's 9 yards, 27 feet of ammo, which equated to, I want to say 500 or 550 rounds of 50 caliber, and probably less than 200 rounds of 20 millimeter. 650s and 120 millimeter. Okay.
Was it 6 or 4? Holy Christ. 650s?
Yeah, Whip's a good one. And that was actually based on a guy that was from Texarkana. And I lost his name. He was the guy that did the modifications on the B-25s down in Australia.
Yeah, problem with the mag dump. Apparently, the fighter pilot that did Yamamoto N mag dumped on the plane.
Yeah.
But that is a one time when a mag dump was probably justified.
Pappy gun, yeah.
You when you've got somebody that's much of a linchpin, yeah, you don't have to come back from that one. You use every round and you blow his transport into splinters because he was that. Yamamoto was that much of a linchpin to the Japanese war effort.
Well, and most of the strafing runs were actually 1 second or less of actual gunfire.
A lot of high-speed flying.
Well, and deflection flying. The best shots were actually old country boys who had
Wing
bird
shots.
hunted.
Wing
Yeah,
shots.
wing shots. And 3 seconds each, 1 to 3 seconds. Yeah. So very quick. Sir Brass, I will defer to you because last time I read that was right after it came out. So it's been a couple of years. But a superb airplane in any case. The only thing that you didn't want to do was make a right turn on takeoff because the P factor would actually pull the airplane over on its back and crash. So yeah, there were, like every airplane, there were issues with them. Yeah, well, pilot torque P factor was a huge issue with a radial engine. And in some cases with the Merlins because of the prop and the way it turned. P-51, F-4U, Wildcat, you basically stood on the left rudder on takeoff and eased the power up to get to your manifold pressure. Because if you slam the power to it, the airplane would turn right, whether you wanted it to or not. Yeah, the shape definitely got their attention.
My hands hurt today, folks.
Yeah.
I'm a little grouchy. My hands hurt today.
Yeah, B-26 Marauder, one a day in Tampa Bay. It was, it was known as the Widowmaker. I've got a book written by.
It's also as a flying prostitute because the wings looked too short, so it had no visible means of support.
Who actually survived the war flying the Marauders. And his book is an interesting one. Sadly, he passed away a number of years ago. But this is also the time when Midway took place, a couple of years earlier. So a lot of things going on in early June in the military back in World War II. Stupid National Park visitors category. Some nut has been filming himself chasing bears in Yellowstone.
Chasing
That's
bears?
Beyond stupid.
Well, that's going to be a self-correcting issue fairly quickly.
Yeah, the Allison 1710s definitely sounded different. There was also an issue with the superchargers on, as there were on most of the, not only the Allisons, but the Pratt & Whitneys. And that's why most of the aircraft flying today from World War II do not have superchargers. A, because there are no spare parts. B, the people that built them are dead. And C, they don't have any way to build more because the plans and how they were built pretty much are lost technology, because the folks that did the machining and the folks that did the castings on those took those secrets, I'll say, to
the techniques.
to their grave. Yeah. And here he goes playing with a pen.
Put it back together.
I'm just laughing because somebody said, give him a pen.
What?
Somebody said, give him a pen to play with. And you pulled that thing out.
I spent way too many years punching people. And today was gym day. So I was doing rack pulls. And for those of you who don't know, a rack pull, you've got the barbell sitting on pins, just a little bit off the floor. Makes it a little easier to pick up. And so I was rack pulling 355, and my hands are killing me right now.
Yeah. Well, we don't lose stuff because it's classified. It just takes years to get out.
Unless the person holding it's an Air Force E3, E4. Then it
True.
just
Well-
log on to his Minecraft server. And
Well, think about how much of the World War II history we knew, quote, quote, is now changed because of what's been released
Yeah.
50 years later. The stuff that came out of Bletchley Park,
right.
Enigma.
And there's still stuff that's on a 100-year. 100-year no talkie.
The one that amazed me was when they were redoing some of the structures at Betsley Park.
Oh yeah,
They found Turing's original notes
stuffed in the wall.
stuffed in the wall, yeah, as insulation. And everybody kind of went, "Where?" Because those documents were thought lost forever. That's a good point too, Sir Brass. We had propaganda, and it was generally, and the vets generally didn't want to talk about it. Not only that, but most of the veterans would only talk to people that they knew had been there because they did not feel comfortable with what they had done in many cases. Yeah, that's a good point too, Tom. Back when "don't tell this to anyone ever until you die"
Yeah.
meant something. Yeah.
When they would tell you would be buried at Leavenworth if you told anybody about this,
Yeah.
they were serious.
Yeah.
Now it's say, oh, please don't. Please,
Well,
please,
they
please
still
don't
are
tell.
for certain groups of
Yeah,
people.
point.
And then there's Drang. All those guys that said something that had me asking if they were ASA, if they get wide-eyed and make like Sergeant Schultz.
I
Yes.
know nothing.
Yeah. uh, yeah, Padre, the History Channel does have some good shows on there. The sad part is when they recover those aircraft, just like Glacier Girl, which was a P-38 that was recovered out of the ice up in Greenland, they rebuild the airplane, quote, rebuild the airplane. Well, the only thing that's actually from the original airplane usually is the data plate.
Data plate.
Everything else has to be rebuilt, completely rebuilt. They may be able to salvage certain pieces, like engine parts, things like that. But the majority of the aircraft is totally rebuilt simply because of corrosion. If you ever get out to the Pacific War Museum in Hawaii on Ford Island, they have I want to say B-17 that they recovered out of the jungles in either New Guinea or Borneo. And you can see how much corrosion is on that airplane. Yeah, David, that's a good point too. Probably one of the most true is, I think his name was Lecky. He was a Marine at Guadalcanal, a helmet for a pillow. And Mr. Brown was one of my neighbors back home, had been a Marine at not only Guadalcanal, but also at Iwo Jima. And he said that was a very realistic book. So, take it for what it's worth. Yeah, Drang. Sometimes you get lucky when parts are found in a warehouse. There was, I want to say Fort Knox. Army had a warehouse up there.
Army has warehouses everywhere.
Yeah, that had World War II Jeeps still in the boxes and Harley Davidson motorcycles.
Doesn't surprise me. Could have made a mint off it. Guarantee the Army did something stupid with them.
Oh yeah, they destroyed them all.
Of course.
They were deemed unsafe.
They could have sold them to civilians and made a mint off of them.
Yep.
But no. Those folks that are in charge of treating our tax money with respect it deserves decided to just set it on fire.
Well, Lone Star Army and Ammunition over in East Texas 15 or 20 years ago, they found 5 Harley Davidson Scout motorcycles in the back of a warehouse over there, still in the crate. And supposedly they were all 5 destroyed. Supposedly. But I'm sure that one of them at least got out the back door and the back gate.
Yeah,
Yeah, Sir Brass, that's thank you. Lecky wrote helmet for my pillow because he was watching a production of South Pacific and was irritated enough to walk out and tell him what really happened.
yeah. The military often forgets that it's using taxpayer money for everything because it's the government. Government doesn't have free money. Government has taxpayer money they've extorted out of us with the threat of violence. So they take this money, they buy a whole bunch of really expensive stuff with it, and then when it would be smart to sell it back to taxpayers and make a little more money, not waste taxpayer money, they don't do it.
Yeah.
All those crates of M1s that went into the Atlantic Ocean, I wanted to slap some General Silly.
Yeah.
Of course, I want to slap a General Silly most of the time. But no, that was, there's nothing illegal. There's nothing unlawful about selling M1 Garand to the public. CMP does it all the time. Every M1, every M1 carbine, every 45 that's gone into the smelter or the ocean is a fraudulent waste of taxpayer money. I bought that. Don't wreck it.
Yeah.
I paid for that shit.
Yeah. Well, it's also M1 Thompsons. Yeah.
They could sell them,
For thousands upon thousands of dollars, but they won't.
recoup a little money.
Yeah. And I saw something the other day. Oh, trying to remember who the manufacturer is. Anyway, it's the light joint tactical vehicle.
Oh, the new Humvee?
No, I take it back. It's not the light joint tactical vehicle, LJTV, whatever the hell it is. But it's something one of the foreign nations is using is basically an upscaled, more powerful, like a Razor.
Oh,
Kind of patterned after what the SEALs in the U.S. did with the off-road buggies.
Desert Patrol vehicles?
Yeah.
Okay.
And one of the comments was, they could really make a lot of money selling those to the general public. LMTV, yes, Strang, thank you. The problem with it was you'd pay $75,000 or $80,000 for one of them.
Somebody would do it.
Oh yeah, there would be people that do it. I mean, hell, that one guy down in Fort Worth that bought 5 Hummers and welded pieces together to get one, and then stole some plates and put them on. Was running it on the road till he got caught.
But no, if the military has anything, they purchase it with taxpayer money. The simple fact that they destroy anything that's still good, still usable, and they destroy it sounds like fraud to me, but that's just me. Drang, I wouldn't own a Humvee either, but there are people out there who would. There's stupid people everywhere. They're breeding. Nature makes them every day, and they will buy a Humvee, and that money can go back into the treasury.
Yeah. Well, when they do sell them, they sell them for $1,000.
I don't care. It's still money that going
Yeah.
back. It's like, okay, it's a 45. It rattles it sounds like a baby's rattle. If it'll sell for $1, it's $1 more than you had.
Yep. Padre, you do not want to drive a Humvee, trust me.
Humvees suck. They're terrible.
Especially an up armored one. Because if you park it anywhere other than dead level, good luck getting the door open or closed.
Yes, okay. Sometimes it's cheaper to dispose downrange. I will say, don't dispose it downrange where people who are enemies can recover it. Joe Biden.
A friend of ours who former enlisted, got commissioned in the Army, went back over as a loggy gamma coat.
I hate the gamma goat, but somebody will buy it. Somebody will cough up hard-earned money for that thing.
Yeah.
Some moron.
But he, as an officer, was sent back into Iraq when they were getting ready to pull out. And his job was to go into the storage areas, weapon storage, vehicle storage, and determine how many vehicles were going to be left behind. And he said we left something in the neighborhood of $60 million worth of up armored Humvees, MRAPs, various other vehicles,
Which could have been sold.
sitting in a desert
If you're
with
gonna,
the keys in them
if you're gonna, there's
and walked away from
no
them,
keys except for the padlocks.
all the padlocks.
No. If we're gonna dispose of equipment, we need to dispose of it using thermite grenades and C4. There should be parts littered across the desert, not just parked there.
Didn't do it.
No, I know.
Well, David, this was one gentleman who I know for a fact is a friend of mine, was in one location, 40 to 60 million out of that location.
Alpha November, Mike 14 Tango Hotel 3, AN-M14TH3. It's a lovely little grenade. I'm deeply fond of the AN-M14TH3 because you pull a pin, set it on an engine block, and run away.
Yeah,
And then
Padre,
your vehicle, that vehicle will not work ever again.
yeah, read the first third of Last Centurion as a how-to. Yes. Padre, when you were in Afghanistan, how often did you actually use an MRAP other than on a ring road, if ever?
Because if you have excess equipment, I will guarantee you have excess explosives.
Yep.
Use them. If you have excess equipment that it's too expensive to bring home, it's too expensive to bring those thermite grenades home. Use them.
Yeah, thermite grenades in the breech of a barrel tend to do strange things to it.
I was given a chance to experiment one time, which was probably a very bad idea on somebody in command staff's think pudding. So they were getting rid of the 110 8-inch howitzers, and said, "Well, how would you blow this thing, Staff Sergeant McMurtry?" I said, "Okay." So I got the muzzle monkeys to teach me how to ram a shell home.
Yeah.
And I went up to the front and threw a electronic fuse and 2 wires down the front all the way to the breech. And then I took a high explosive shell, stuffed where the fuse went full of C4, stuck the fuse in there or the blasting cap in there, rammed it home, shut the breech, and then fired that puppy in the breech. I'm here to tell you, that's a really cheap way to get rid of an M1 Mike 110 8-inch howitzer. Fun too. That barrel will land in places you didn't think a barrel that big could land.
I just have to say that I just love all this information about more destruction and the best ways to get there. I mean,
And
so educational. It's a good thing I have no access to any of these things.
could probably be arranged.
It could. So I had this wild idea this morning.
Uh-oh.
I know,
Row,
scary,
row.
but okay.
Yeah.
But I was drinking my coffee and thinking about how much King Harv's has prevented damage and murder in the world.
No kidding, right?
You know,
They are doing the Lord's work.
The Lord's work with geisha. And, we've been tossing around this idea about a coffee anthology. I mean, wouldn't it be fun to just have people pick which favorite
I
thing?
don't know if Sarah ever listens to this, but I have been informed through back channel sources that her plan is to get me drunk at LibertyCon and pitch a coffee anthology.
Yeah, well, she can get you drunk, but we're going to do it anyway. I was thinking, we could he has so many interesting varieties. You can just
no
pick one
kidding.
and write a story about King Harv off finding the elusive geisha mix, So, but literally, this saved the world this morning.
No kidding, right?
So,
Yes, Tannerite is legal in Texas. It's legal pretty much everywhere.
oh, I love Texas so much. I'm so glad I moved here.
But nope, a 100 or an 8-inch shell going off inside the breech will do quite nicely for a 110 howitzer.
That sounds kind of exciting.
Got scotch in the coffee, bourbon, damn it.
or Tully.
Brandy. I do.
Yeah, Tullamore Dew. Yeah, that's an
That's
Irish
what-
coffee.
You know, I won't tell people at Liberty Con that I'm going to have a special container from Tully to put in my coffee, but I might because I'm going to the banquet and it's, you know, if they don't have mimosas, there's got to be something in my coffee.
Is the banquet in the morning?
Yes, they're doing a breakfast one. I have a ticket. I don't know what you're doing. So
I don't do banquets.
I'm sitting with Ben Yallow and Tully and Dave Truesdale and Courtney. And so you can imagine our table is going to be the party place.
They all have fun.
I've done enough Diplo bores. I'm not going to do it.
Yeah.
Well, you know, I'm totally fine with sitting around with a bunch of cool folks in the morning
Yeah.
and when somebody else
Oh,
has
look,
bought me breakfast.
rubber chicken. Rubber chicken.
Rubber chicken.
Yeah.
We have one of those. Don't send us one. We have one.
Yeah, one of the things that annoys me about bartenders is I haven't found one yet that can make a Napoleon coffee. And a Napoleon coffee is just brandy and coffee. And when you got stateside,
Scotch does not go with grapefruit juice, Kelly. Good God.
Kelly, please, Kelly.
Ugh.
Anyway, St. Louis NRA meeting, we got in a very, very, it was stressful and strenuous getting there.
Yeah.
So when we finally got to the hotel, Rita headed straight for the bar. And Jim had called and asked, and and Rita said, 2 martinis, just keep them coming. And I asked for a Napoleon coffee because I like Napoleon coffee, brandy, coffee, and sugar and creamer. And oh my God, that was terrible. It's an Irish coffee with brandy instead of, and they can't make an Irish coffee around here either.
Spiced rum, cranberry sauce, and Dr. Pepper. That's different.
I can't do grapefruit. I'm on medicines that medications that make grapefruit contraindicated, badly contraindicated. I have to be very careful about grapefruit anything.
Kelly, we're going to have a chat, my friend.
Did Frank do something dafty?
Oh, it's apparently everybody's getting a slow load today.
Oh, hey Frank, how you doing? How's the liver, Scooter?
Yeah. No, we're not moderating this. Screw you.
Hey, does it for us anyway. So
Yeah.
Hey Frank, how's the liver? Still a little hot? We're
Yeah.
not sorry. Go cry in the shower. You'll be fine. Feed is losing resolution and chat is acting up. Frank, I'm not sensitive citrus. There's something in citrus. There's something in grapefruit. There's
If you take blood pressure medication, you cannot drink grapefruit
it's
or eat grapefruit.
grapefruit. It's blood pressure. It's diabetes medicine. All of them. There's like 2 out of the multiple medicines I take. 2 of them say do not ever have anything with grapefruit juice. And I made a mistake one time, and because I used to love ruby red grapefruit juice. Made a mistake one time and had a big glass of that. Oh yeah, that was bad. That was never had a blood sugar of 21 before.
Oh,
Yeah,
damn.
and nothing I could do I was pounding down Snickers bars
Yeah.
and I couldn't. Uh-oh.
We haven't had our cool tin of the day.
Oh, God.
So this one's kind of special. It's empty, but it's a really special one. So show it to folks. So in World War II, in the parachutist stuff, was this particular can, and it was full of wintergreen salve. But in the bottom of it was a compass hidden inside the thing.
Oh,
Yeah, so that's an actual tin from World War II, but the compass has been removed.
damn it.
But isn't that the coolest
Yeah.
thing?
Hell yes.
Yeah,
Was this in parachutist or first aid?
parachutist.
Yeah.
Okay. Very
Yeah.
cool.
Very cool thing. That one gets to stay. Along with the blasting caps.
Hello, what?
But there's no blasting caps. We already did this
God
one.
damn it.
We won't talk about what I found in the other tin.
Hey, Frank.
So
Frank already knows what we found in the other
What?
tin.
Now that we
No
talk about-
heroin tin this time?
I have some fun ones, but you know.
I have more issues than Carter has been. Yeah, most people seem to be in that. Yeah, uniform buttons, In some cases, were also escape buttons.
There was one of the things I love about the OSS, and the old boy running the OSS, sneaky bastard, loved him to death, was how bad they used the Red Cross in World War II. Of course, SOE, Ministry of Engineering Warfare, did too.
Yeah.
But they friggin' used the Red Cross hard. Red Cross had packets that were cleared to be delivered to POWs,
Mhm.
and the OSS, the SOE, got a hold of them first. And they had stuff in those first aid packets or Red Cross packets that,
Oh, the Monopoly games.
yep,
Monopoly. Oh God.
they had clothes that had that had big white PW on the back, and nobody would ever think twice about it, about issuing this to prisoners because it had this big PW and it was cheap to oh hello,
World War II leaflets.
and it was cheap and free clothing for prisoners of war. And they also had these little packets of drink that was nasty.
Yeah.
Nobody in their right mind was going to drink this crap because you put it in water, soaked uniforms, and the PW came off the.
Yeah.
Script.
Oh yes.
Or John's goodies. Unkink your sphincter, Frank. They don't count anymore.
Yeah.
Oh,
I do have some Vietnam scripts still.
and we're singing "He's the Fed" songs.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you had these issued uniforms that were free that nobody could ever have an issue with giving to inmates or prisoners.
Yeah.
And but you also had this nasty ass drink mix that nobody right mind would drink that just happened to dissolve the big PW.
Yeah. Bunch of
Bunch of
Gold.
Gold did.
Yeah.
They stole that idea right from the OSS and the SOE.
Yeah, Korea was still using script in the late 70s. That's true too.
Hell, they were using script in Vietnam, weren't they?
I have to dig mine out and bring it in. If he says you don't need OPSEC, he's a Fed. Yeah. The number of Feds lately that have been outed is
Oh
just
Jesus! And people wonder. I want it for the record that y'all hating the Feds are late to the bandwagon. I've been hating the Feds for years. I've been hating the Feds for decades. I've been hating the FBI for decades.
in other words, get in line.
Yeah, get in line. You're late to the bandwagon. The FBI and the DEA piss me off.
And on
And I
that
have a
note,
story
folks,
about that. When I'm drunk and Frank has gotten his new liver, I'll tell you about my run-in with both the FBI and the Feds back in '93.
Yeah.
Or the
And on
DEA,
that note,
fucking bastards.
shut up. We're done. We've wasted another hour of your time.
Yes, we have.
Timo advertisements with fuel filters.
Fuel filters.
Yeah, right. They forgot to
Fuel
block where they were sending it from, which might have pointed right back to a certain building in Washington, D.C.
That was great.
Yeah.
That was great.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
shut up before you say too much. Fuck the Feds.
Anyway, folks,
The FBI knows how I feel about them. They've known since 1993.
thanks very much for putting up with us.
DEA too.
And
They still owe me a bust.
enough already.
Mm.
Get your recipes in. And we will.
We had no monkey abuse. Obviously, you didn't see the thumbnail for this thing.
Remember, don't sweat the petty stuff. Don't pet the sweaty stuff.
Be safe, guys.
And we'll see you on Thursday. Bye-bye.
Bye.